Hello everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of Super Mario Land for the Nintendo Game Boy. I'm here in World 4, the Che Kingdom. Has a definitely Far East flavor. I assume Japan, because Nintendo is a Japanese company, so it makes sense that they give it that feel. But I could be wrong, maybe it's Chinese or another, Asian culture. So, this is the world where we'll actually finally get to meet Daisy. And we'll also get to see my first and only misstep. I slipped here up and fell off the platform. Stupid mistake, but it allows me to rectify the mistake that I started when I first started the episode of missing these coins. When you enter a pipe in this world, you want to hold the right button, or the right direction pad, to fall into that little area to get all the coins. So, the one good thing about pipes in this game is that when you go into a pipe, you come back out the same pipe. So you can hit all the secret pipes and not worry about missing, parts of the stage. So you still get to see the entire stage. So, that one death there almost made me reset and retry it all over again. It was one of the curses of obsessive compulsive disorder. It was like, it's not perfect, I gotta redo it. Although this is, I guess far from perfect play if you consider like a speed run or a super play. But, for my tastes, wanting to get that, no miss clear was big, but I finally decided, I was wasting so much time replaying, restarting that I was going to, just go through with it. So, yeah, one of the curses, I guess, of being obsessive compulsive. I guess I was always had even as a kid. Touch something with one hand, have to touch it with the other. But I guess it got really bad after military service when I had to when so much rides on being prepared and everything has to be perfect. Because it's life and death situations sometimes. Especially when I was deployed over to Iraq in a war zone. And, yeah, it's just not very fun. So thankfully though I get some medication for it. I get duloxetine, 90 milligrams of that a day, and then I'm also on when needed melatonin to just help me with anxiety and sleeplessness and all that stuff. So yeah, been on it for on this dosage thing for a little over 4 years. So had a really bad episode one time, and I actually ended up in the VA hospital for 4 days and 3 nights, and that was an interesting experience. But I guess it's good because it helped, help me with my medication, helped me realize, some of the stuff that you're missing on the outside world. I wasn't able to take care of my pets, and watch them, and so it was difficult. I guess you see, what you got on the outside world, and so yeah, if you're, struggling with, mental illness or need help, don't be afraid to go and seek that help out in the hospital. So it was definitely an experience. Luckily, because being a veteran, I got to go in through the VA, so I was housed in with other veterans, and it was like I said, definitely a unique experience. Have a few kind of funny stories, I guess. One was every day we'd have to wake up and you'd meet with the nurse in a group setting, and you'd talk about what you wanted to hope to accomplish for the day. You had to set a goal for the day. And I remember one time we went out there and there was a gentleman in a wheelchair, and so they got to him, and the nurse was like, "What would you like to do for the day?" And he said something very, very vile. He said, I won't say it entirely, but you can pretty much imagine what he said. He said, "I want to lick your... because it tastes so good." And then she said to the orderlies to get him out of the room, and they wheeled him away. And while they were wheeling him out of the room in the wheelchair, he was leaning his head back, sticking his tongue out, going blah, 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 blah. So He did not make it back to our 5 o'clock meeting where we discussed how our days went and if we met our goals, so I assume he did not meet his goal of performing a sex act on the nurse, so... and then the other weird one was, there was a gentleman, a black gentleman, and he was watching TV, and I guess other people were complaining they didn't like what he was watching, and so one of the guys went and they took the remote and changed the channel on it, and so he started, screaming that, here he was, he's a black man, a black veteran, and, he risked his life for the country, and, still, he was basically crying racism for someone stealing the remote off of him, and he said that he hates all white people. But then he pointed at one person, he said, except for you, because you're pretty cool. Unfortunately, I was not that person, even though I had no interaction with the gentleman, so, I'm not cool. Oh well, my dog thinks I'm cool, I guess, so, yeah. But, yeah, so, but getting back to the thing, the whole point was that, I had to go in because I, had a breakdown, and, so, don't be afraid to, if you need that, to go seek that help that you need. And one of the interesting things was when I went in, was being in process, there was another gentleman who was giving in process at the same time too, and the first thing you have to do is you have to take a drug test, and but don't let that discourage you, because that guy basically said, hey, I'm not gonna pass this drug test because, I've been doing some drugs, and they were like, well, that's okay, we just want to know what's in your system, so we can treat you, because, obviously, if the mental health institution was going to, put you in jail because, some people may not want to seek out that mental health, so, if you're doing drugs or something like that and something bad happens to you, you need to go to the hospital. Don't be afraid, so... But, let's get on to a happier subject, I guess. We have the Super Ball, so now we can actually, jump around and, use it to collect all these coins, and of course, back to my obsessive compulsiveness, I have to get all these coins, even though I don't need the lives, but for some reason I feel that I need to get these coins, so, I feel like I'm playing Arkanoid or Breakout, with, the way this thing is bouncing around, so, too bad I can't get that one power-up that lets you shoot missiles in that game, or things to help take out the things, man, 2 times I was almost able to get those coins and the Super Ball disappeared, so, yeah, but, anyway, that's how you get all those coins, like I said, you need the Super Ball, so, but, you got a tricky part coming up here, especially in the second half. Remember, in this game and Mario 1, you can run across, as long as you're sprinting with the B button, you can run across one-tile gaps. They do a real evil move there in the second quest. They have a bullet bill appear, and when you run across those gaps, and if you're small, you're probably going to take a hit and have to restart from the middle of the game, from the middle of the stage. If you're big, you'll lose your fire power, your big status, so... And unfortunately, I got the Fire Flower. Not that, once again, the Fire Flower will matter, because 4-3, like 2-3, is one of these shoot-em-up auto-scrollers. This time we're in the Sky Pop rather than the Sub Pop. And, we can only get big, so, not that it matters, because, like I said, big or Fire Flower, you only get, 2 hits, potentially, so. Luckily, you can find some power-ups in these blocks. There's also a star in one of the blocks, which will be good for raising points. Because as you can see, we've got pretty high enemy density in this area. It's going to get even worse right now. We've got these mines. These mines are pretty tough to take out. I think they take about 10 hits to take out, so you really got to mash if you want to take them out. Most of the time, they're just easier to avoid, but they can be taken out with your bullets if you're a good masher. I, unfortunately, am not a good masher. Which is why I guess I'll never get the Stinger World Record. I had 3rd place last time I checked, but there's no way I can beat the final boss, and in one go because you have to really mash. If you're allowed to use a turbo controller, I could, because I practiced it on an emulator with the turbo controller, and I was able to beat it as fast as the world record does, but can't because I can't mash as fast, so I'm not a good button pusher. So my cousin Vaughn, growing up, was really good. That's why he was really good at track and field. But it's also one of the reasons why when we first got a Nintendo, the first 2 games we got were Mario Brothers, which came with the Nintendo, and Pro Wrestling. And my brother and my 2 older cousins, Mark and Bill, you know, we all loved Pro Wrestling. And, you know, we'd always want to play Pro Wrestling. And, but unfortunately, you know, I would play with them too, but since I was young and younger than them and couldn't press buttons fast, that game pretty much, you know, you grapple and whoever hits the button the fastest pretty much wins in the grapple. So of course I would always lose, and then as a little annoying kid I would, you know, cry. I'd want to play Mario Brothers. So, which is weird because now as an adult, Mario kind of frustrates me. I talked about that in the last episode. So times change. But here is the final boss. We had like a mini boss there, that cloud that shot chickens out at us. But here is we have the spaceman Tatanga, and we have to defeat him. He's not too hard. He shoots, like I said, there was a ball that splits out into a 3-spread shot. And once we finally take him down, we actually do meet Daisy, and we have different dialogue because this is actually the real princess. Oh, Daisy, Daisy, thank you, Mario. And our quest is over. And we get to run over here, and guess the Sky Pop only holds 1, so we are going to hop into this little rocket ship, which holds 2, and we get to hear the ending music as we watch the ending credits. And I must say, I really enjoy this this music. It's very upbeat, very catchy. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, it kind of pumps you up. It makes you feel good, and you know, like blast off to another adventure. Which is, I guess, almost what you know, Daisy and Mario are doing here in this little rocket ship. I guess they eventually go back to the Mushroom Kingdom because Daisy becomes a reoccurring character later on in some future Mario titles, mainly like the sports titles, like you know, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, Mario Sluggers, which is the baseball one. So she's more the tomboy princess. That's her characteristic compared to the more prissy, girly Princess Peach, which is the Princess Toadstool back in the Mushroom Kingdom that you rescued in Super Mario Brothers 1 and 3, and I guess Super Mario Land. So, and the Lost Levels if you played the Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2. But in Super Mario Brothers 2 for America, the one released over here, which was actually a port, reskin of Doki Doki Panic game. She was actually one of the playable characters in that game. So now they said the quest was over and we get the ending here thing, but we press start and we're taken back to the title screen, and the title screen has a little change in it. One minor little change: the mushroom has become a Mario head, and if we beat the game again on the second quest, we get a stage select. You can press A and it scrolls the stage by 1. So you can choose any stage you want. So I'm just gonna play 4-3 so we can, you know, beat the game again, and we can kind of see a little bit some of the differences. As you can see, the enemy density has just increased. Definitely more chickens that you saw there. And there'll be some more enemies you'll see a little bit later on. But yeah, that's basically the general trend of the second quest. You know, more enemies, more obstacles. There you saw I took a whole bunch of shots, but I finally managed to take out one of these floating mines. So, took out one there. Hopefully I get the star, and then we can take out a whole bunch in a row. Really get our points up here. We smash the things, and then we run into everything else, and we're already at the... I got to a 2,000 now, I think, almost 4,000. I wasn't paying attention. I saw a 2,000. I don't know if I got a 4,000 after that, but yeah, you can really rack up the points, so... Yeah, I'm almost a third of the way to that, you know, one continue on just one stage here, so... Oh, man, I think it's possible to get all these coins. I think that Tool Assisted Speedrun does it, but Tool Assisted Speedrun and the Speedrun, actually, the game actually does a little trick there, where you think that... I guess you have to hold something on the controller, a certain thing, a certain direction. But you think that, like, if the screen, the left part of the screen pushed you to the far right and smashed you against the wall, you would, you know, lose a life. But actually, if you're holding one direction pad, you won't, and you can end up on the far side of the screen. See, there's that extra fist there and that pipe that wasn't there in the first quest. And here we're back to this little mini boss here. His name is Blankenton. So, and it says, because of his shyness, he constantly hides inside of clouds. Up to now, no one has ever seen what he looks like. 20 missiles to take him down, so... Here we have Tatanga the spaceman again. Apparently his ship is called Pagosu, so almost sounds like Pegasus. But, but he hasn't changed. Like I said, even though the stages get harder, there's a little bit more enemy density and enemy placement to make some jumps more difficult. The bosses, for the most part, thankfully, stay the same. The only one that really changes is the World 2 boss, the Dragu Zamasu, because he gets those two little amoeba-like balls that block shots and, you know, make maneuvering in the sea pot a little bit more difficult, so... But yeah, that was Super Mario Land, first released, like I said, the first Mario game released for the Game Boy. Looks a little different compared to, you know, Mario 1. The sprites are obviously much smaller. Mario will get a big graphical upgrade in Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. But, you know, graphics ain't everything, and this is a, you know, cute little platformer. It's probably, difficulty-wise, probably the same difficulty as, you know, the regular Super Mario Brothers. You know, there's a few tricky jumps here and there, but with practice, you should be able to, you know, finish them off. Thankfully, unlike the first Mario Brothers, there's no, like, mazes like World 4-4 and 7-4 in that game that you have to memorize a pattern to. But, like I said, there are still some tricky things, so I hope you really enjoyed this Let's Play, and hope that you, you know, continue to follow and experience some of my other Let's Plays. I plan on doing another Mario game in the future, the Mario World, mainly because it has a password, well, not a password, but a save system that you can save your game and don't necessarily have to do it all in one sitting, so a little easier on my tastes and my OCD. So take care, everyone. Thanks for following along. Y'all have a good day. All the best. Bye.